Early in the afternoon, I was looking for something to do. I went into an old saloon to order myself a shot of booze. The bartender bought a shot of whiskey. Upstairs in a room they were getting frisky. I was looking at my favorite skin and I thought about it. And I had bad. The place was filled with clouds of smoke. No one cared about the dope. On the bar there were lines of coke. I didn't have anywhere else to go. At the table they were playing poker. They were drunk and I felt sober. Sure enough, when the game was over, some were rich and some were broker. Just as I realized the place was a brothel, the card game at the table turned hostile. One of the gamblers broke a beer bottle, and they got to a squabble. The hands went down for their guns. 2 shots when it was done. 2 outlaws took off on the run while they left behind 2 dead ones. The bartender stood behind the bar. There was moonshine in a mason jar. Then a man walked in wearing a star. He sparked a match and lit a cigar. At the moment he walked through the door, the corpses were still on the floor. He looked around to see if there were more. That's when the rain started to pour. Tumbleweeds were rolling down the street. Spurs were running around his feet. I could see that he was packing heat. He went upstairs into a suite. A couple more shots rang out. Then I heard a young girl shout. I wondered what it was all about. She ran downstairs and began to howl. She tried to hide from the homicide. I could tell that she was horrified. It was raining like cats and dogs outside. She had nowhere to go to hide. The thunder grumbled and the lightning flashed. There was no chance she would go out there. Just as the man with the star walked down the stairs, she went under the table in her underwear. The cards were still on the table. The horses were chilling at the stable. Back in the west, they didn't have cable. All they had was carnival. The piano player was playing ragtime, as if he knew who committed a crime. The syncopated music stopped on a dime. All I heard was the wind through the chimes. The man with the star had walked to the bar. He told the bartender to tell him who was in charge. The bartender said, "Can I ask who you are?" The man with the star said, "Sheriff Lee Bars." Then the bartender wanted to meet. The sheriff seemed like he had to agree. He looked at me like he was angry. Then he said, "You're pimping my girl. She's only 14." That was when I started to blink. I don't know what I was trying to think. The bartender wasn't my drink. I felt like a ship and I started to sink. When I woke up, I was in a jail cell. I thought I had been sent to hell. I must have hit my head when I fell. One of the deputies might have rung my bell. The judge sentenced me to be hung for pimping a girl that was too young. I was to be done at 9:01. I knew that I would have to run. I thought I was having a bad dream. It was so extreme I wanted to scream. I was losing self-esteem. I thought I had no one on my team. When they dragged me to the gallows tree, I tried to flee but I couldn't break free. It wasn't where I wanted to be. I tried to tell them I wasn't guilty. As they tied a noose around my neck, they asked if I had any last requests. Before I fall down to my death, read my final mortal breath. A crowd of people stood and watched. At the moment I got dropped, the hacking plans all got botched. I hit ground right and didn't stop. Somebody had notched the rope. That's the reason that it broke. I was running down the road, lucky that I hadn't croaked. The sheriff couldn't gun me down. There were too many people around. He would have had to shoot through the crowd. So I ran through as if I was a lad. I hopped on the first horse I saw. Then I rode away from the long arm of the law. They didn't even have the chance to draw. I didn't stop riding until I reached Omaha. I went into the general store. There was a wooden Indian next to the door. I don't know what I went in there for, but I knew I had to get ready for war. I looked for a gun, but they went on sale. The place grew quiet and the air grew stale. The sheriff and his men were hot on my tail. They tracked my horse right down the trail. It was almost 7 o'clock when I reached and grabbed the tomahawk. It was cold and the sky was dark. I could hear the bloodhounds bark. The situation was getting dire. The legs felt like they were beginning to tire. The sheriff's posse set the place on fire. That was when I started to perspire. Blood was rushing through my veins. The sweat was dripping down my face. But the place was engulfed in flames. I knew I'd have to make an escape. It seemed like there was no way that I would. At least the chances didn't seem very good. Nevertheless, I did what anyone should. I ran out the store as fast as I could. Holding the hatchet in my hand, I couldn't believe how fast I ran. Like a black man from a Ku Klux Klan, everything went according to plan. They took aim and they shot, just as I ran through the slot. I rolled and chopped the man's head off, and then I threw the tomahawk as it flew through the air and refused to yield. I used his body as a shield, stole his gun through the field, trying to keep myself concealed. As the axe cut off another man's head, I felt another man's lead. Then there were 4 of them dead. They all fell down on the ground and bled. It all happened before you knew it. It seemed like there was nothing to it. It took everything I had to get me through it. But everything I had to do was I had to do it. There were 4 more bullets in the gun as I rattled in the morning sun. Sheriff's men went down one by one. I killed them all and there were none. It was only me and the sheriff then. Ever since I killed 7 of his men. It was getting intense from all the suspense and good smoke in the air was tense. I'd like to see if I had ammunition. I seen him moving to a new position. He could find his pistol like it was on a mission. I had the bullets whistle as he kept missing. He was too drunk to shoot. As he reloaded, I made my move. He went for the gun in his boot. He was too slow and I was too smooth. I put my gun up to his head. His eyes turned watery and red. I cocked the pistol, then I said, "Make one move and you'll be dead." I told him I didn't know his daughter, as I held on to the revolver. I pointed the gun at her father. As the sun was getting hotter, I could see the look in his eyes. The man seemed like he was surprised. Just then he finally recognized he knew somebody was telling lies. We stood there in the shining sun. I could tell that he was stunned. I thought that he would try to run. I could tell he wasn't having fun. With my gun up to his ear, the man kept trembling in fear. As he began to cry a tear, the bartender was drawing near. I heard a shot go off behind me. I thought for sure that it would find me. I turned around as the sun was shining. The temperature just kept on climbing. The shot was loud when I turned around. I saw the bartender falling down. As I see the man hit the ground, I could see him start to frown. It was when the shot came from behind him that the piano player had come to find him. The building exploded and everything went silent. I had a feeling things were gonna get violent. The piano player shot the bartender in the back. The bartender turned and shot him back. Just as I heard the second gun crack, both men were dead down in their tracks. When they tried to call my bluff, on the street there in the dust, I guess the sheriff thought he'd had enough. Maybe he'd had too much. As he reached down for his face, the temperature continued to increase. The fire flickered in the breeze. The wind was blowing through the trees. I kicked the sheriff's gun out of his hand. It flew and landed in the sand. I could tell he didn't understand. Things don't always go how they plan. I knocked him out of the heat, tied him up in the street. Amidst the rolling tumbleweeds, I was moving at the sound of speed. He didn't even know my name. He probably thought I was insane. He took me in the house of Belfast. I knew for sure I'd have to explain. It was the only chance I had to prove I wasn't all that bad. And I knew the girl would be mad if she found out I killed her dad. When he woke up, his eyes were glazed. When he heard the story, he was amazed. He looked confused and he was dazed, sitting there ready to build and blaze. At first he was a little skeptic, but the sheriff began to accept it. I could tell it was unexpected. It wasn't what he was suspected. He looked confused when offered the truth. The bomb inside his mind was diffused. With the knife and the sheriff loose, just when the temperature reduced. The stars came out as the sun went down. We got on horses and rode back to town. When we got there wasn't anyone around. The girl wasn't anywhere to be found. She was bound to the tracks of the train, tied down, there was no time to explain. She was held down there by chains, thoughts were running through my brain. I began to fear for her existence. I could hear the train coming in the distance. She was gonna need assistance. It was time for me to use resistance. I got on my horse and my gun was loaded. I don't remember how long I rode it. It went so quick it was like I floated. I knew I had to stop the locomotive. When I got up to the caboose, there was no other choice for me to choose. I hopped off the horse and I flew. Then I hung on the rail like glue. As the train rolled down the track, I made my way to the front from the back, all the way up into the cab, where I tucked under the engineer's chair. Then I reached and grabbed the brake. The train slowed down and started to shake. I wondered how long it would take. Just as the train had reached the lake, the girl tried to escape and feared the train kept drawing near. Just then the sheriff dropped the engineer while the girl stopped to cheer. She thought for sure she would die, and she knew the reason why. As a buzzard flew through the sky, the sun was shining right in her eyes. Twas then that the wind started blowing. The train kept going, but it was still slowing. The sun was out and the grass was growing. Then all of a sudden, it started snowing. As the wheels made their last rotation, we tried to assess the situation. About a half a mile from the station, the train stopped with precipitation. Soot was flying everywhere, from the smokestack into the air. We looked to see if she was still there. She let out a yelp in despair. We were happy to know the girl had survived. Our spirits felt better when we were revived. She was lucky to be alive as we got off train number 5.